what y'all trying to do. 24 karat magic in the air. Head to toe so clear. Look out. Pop, pop, it's showtime. 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 Guess who's back again? Oh, they don't know. Oh, they don't know.
Yeah. God, I missed you guys. I'm back from vacation and I feel like I'm just so full of the funk and of the spunk and so many things I want to share with you. And this, really one important thing, is for everybody out there who has ever felt that it can be difficult to trace your boundaries or to step out of some sort of emotional dependency. For those of you who, just like me before, feel responsible for how other people react to you or the things you say to them, or also for those of you who feel that it can be really difficult to actually get in touch with what you need and whether that's okay. Is it okay for me to claim this space? Is it okay for me to prioritize myself? For all of you guys and myself, I dug out my old file called the Love Warrior, which is a list for you with really good ways, 14, to remember every day to practice this self of you, the self-love and the prioritizing of yourself and all that good shit. So if you stick around, keep watching here. I'm going to go through some of them right now with you, and you can grab that list totally for free. I'm going to make it available right here anyway. And let's just dig into it. So let's go. I'm going to pull them up and share them with you right now. So here we are. This is the EF2, which stands for, just to explain, the Emotional Freedom Formula, which is my method of working that I developed. Love Warrior, or even more importantly, your personal rights. So let's look at them. I'm going to scroll down and we're going to start. Let's go to this one, the very first one. Life should have more to offer than pure survival. For me, what that means is that I spent so many years going through life surviving, constantly coming up with strategies and ways to just make it. So there wasn't a lot of living. And that's really sad. I couldn't do it any differently at the time because I simply didn't have the tools to understand and to work that no matter what thing I would go out and try and try to implement in my life, whether it was a meditation or a class or therapy or whatever, none of it really worked because I didn't have the belief that I deserved it. I didn't have the emotional foundation that I could build on. So whatever I put in my system just didn't work. Wow, that's, I'm sure many of you recognize this, and it's a really difficult way to be in life. And this list for me became a constant reminder that these are my personal rights. The day I was born onto this planet, the day you were born, you had all these rights. You don't have to do anything to deserve them. You don't have to do anything to earn them. You deserve love, and there is love for you just for the fact that you are here. So let's go to number 2. Super important one. You have the right to say no to anything and everything when you do not feel ready, or when it feels unsafe or uncomfortable for you. This is a key one, because we go through life, most of us, feeling responsible for how other people react to our messages, how other people react to our personalities. And I would actually like to give you a personal example from my own life about how this could be used. If I had a message to deliver to somebody, something I wanted to say, I could, even before I opened my mouth, start getting really nervous and anxious about the reaction of the other person because I felt responsible for it. And so what would happen was that I would start a little bit of a manipulation. I wasn't aware that that's what I was doing, but it was what you call defensive manipulation, because I determined my own worth by the outcome reaction of that person I was talking to. Does that make sense? So for instance, say I had to deliver a message to my ex-husband. We had a pretty bad dysfunctional relationship. I would start being terrified of his reaction because that would influence the entire rest of the day. If he reacted in a bad way, or if he became angry, or if he just shut himself off completely, I would start thinking, how can I present my message? How can I interact with him in a way to get the outcome that makes this doable or livable, when actually I just had my peace of mind to say. I had something to say to him that came from my heart or my soul. But I couldn't be in that. It was too difficult for me. So I would start modeling it to be able to deliver it in a way to guarantee a certain outcome, which always failed, by the way. It totally failed, because that's just not how life works. So when I became aware that with every message, if I was to say to him, I don't like the way you the way you did this thing this morning really made me feel like you were angry, or it made me very anxious inside, and I got worried about the rest of the day because I experienced it or heard it in a certain way. That's just one concrete example. When I got the awareness that he too has the choice of how he receives my message, that he could choose to say, wow, okay, that's actually pretty cool that you say that, because now I've gotten the awareness that when we communicate in a certain way, that does certain things to you. And then, in return, our interaction becomes like difficult or under a lot of pressure, or whatever. He could choose so many different ways to react to that, but now his pattern was to always choose to get very defensive or very angry, or, but that was his choice, not mine, and not my responsibility. So this number 2 point, you have the right to say no to anything and everything when you don't feel ready or when it feels unsafe or uncomfortable for you, to me became essential, because it tied into the fact that I had the right to walk away, that I had the right to not participate, that I had the right to say no, as it says, and to assert myself. That's okay, because I'm not responsible for how another person reacts. The only thing I am responsible for is to deliver my message in accordance with my values. And my values, I know now, are love, tolerance, respect, honesty. So when I deliver my message with that, it's all good. Now let's move down. I want to jump down. Let's move down to number, let's see, I want to pull it up and make it a bit bigger here. Let's see if we can move it into the center a little bit. You have the right, this is number 11, you have the right to change and grow. I used to feel quite afraid, actually, of both change and growth. I don't know to what extent I was actually aware of it, but I felt it, because change was uncertainty. It's like education. Once you start educating yourself on something, whether it is this that we're doing right now or something else in life, it can feel really scary, because with education comes knowledge. And once you know, you cannot unknow, right? So once you get that knowledge under your belt, you can no longer claim to not know or understand, and that can be terrifying. For me, change and growth represented that I had to take myself seriously. I had to respect myself. I had to assert myself. And I was really scared of that, because most of my life experience was that there wasn't room for that. Neither myself nor others had allowed the room for that. And of course, nobody can do anything to you that you don't allow them to do. But I had done that. I had allowed others to very much box me in and limit me. That was part of the way I dealt with life, because then it felt safe and familiar. So you have the right to change and grow is a very important part of your personal rights. And then we're going to grab the last one, and then you can do all the other ones by yourself. I hope you will, and I hope you'll give me your feedback on them if they work for you. The last one is number 14, and it goes, you have the right to look after yourself no matter what circumstances you are in. What that means to me and has meant to me is that no matter where you find yourself in life, no matter how bad shit gets, no matter how the outer circumstances are happening, you still always have the right to look after yourself. That's okay. You cannot overdo looking after yourself. And the way that has felt to me and to my mentees and clients is what I hear again and again and again, but I can just take it from personal experience, is we feel almost narcissistic or selfish or like it's wrong to prioritize ourselves, and to prioritize looking after ourselves can feel literally so terrifying, because we often operate from this place that we don't deserve it, that we don't have that right. Well, this is why my list is here for you, because we do have that right. And this is your bill of your personal rights. These 14 rights on this list, check them out. And I hope you read them and start practicing them. And I hope you also share with me how you feel about it. Now let me switch back so I can see you properly again. Sometimes all it takes is a simple list like this list of your personal rights to remind us that if you don't have you down, if you don't nourish and honor yourself and your body and your mind and your soul, then you don't have a foundation to stand on in this life. Without you, you can't be a good or great mom. Without you, you can't be you. Without you, you can't be the good girlfriend, wife, partner, best friend, co-worker, business owner that you strive to be. It's very difficult to fulfill our dreams and our hopes and go for something in this life if we don't have ourselves. It can be a pill to swallow if we've gone through life operating in a different way. And you know what? That is totally okay. I have spent the majority of my life as an emotional eater, battling and struggling, but no more. And that's why I do what I do, because I want you to know that it is totally possible to live a life free, at ease, enjoy, and to go out there and achieve and get everything you ever dreamed of. It is possible. I walk that talk every day. And you know what? I am so freaking happy to be doing it with you. So thank you so much for watching this video. And I hope to meet you on Facebook or on the website or in one of my programs. Take care of you.